After hopping off the bus at the Corn Exchange, I walked down to the station passing Dyson's elaborate clock and watch shop, which features a time ball, which used to descend the pole at 1 p.m. each day. Boar Lane then leads us on to the station itself and what will hopefully be an impressive flight of stairs to the main entrance. But it's currently a building site. But the buildings on City Square still elegantly look down upon us. The most notable being the Grade 2 listed Old Post Office and the wonderful Art Deco Queen's Hotel, which dates from 1937. And swinging into the concourse from City Square, the Art Deco of the hotel is reflected in Hamlin's wonderful concourse. And it retains its original splendour while still being turned over to the various shops and eateries that the modern traveller now desires. And as we climb the incline to the more modern concourse, it gives way to a ticket office and a travel centre, a large bank of ticket machines and the LNER First Class Lounge. And then we are into the modern concourse that was remodelled and given a new roof in 2019. And before we get to our platform, let's explore those platforms to the north side of the station. Interesting? Well, not much, but Leeds is one of the very few stations that sport a Platform Zero. Anyway, that's enough mucking around. Our train to Liverpool will leave from the far south side of the station, so let's get over there. Of course, Leeds is served by LNER trains to London and also cross-country, Transpennine and Northern services. We'll be on Transpennine today. Now, they've got a very bad rap for availability, but right now our train is showing on the boards and indeed Real-Time Trains reports it's well on its way to us from Hull. And even though it was rebuilt in the 21st century, I always feel that the train shed at Leeds is still just a bit gloomy. And good morning from Leeds City Station. I've had a nice little wander around in Leeds and it's a very interesting city architecturally. Lots of little gems just hidden away here and there. The station itself was subject to a major rebuild quite recently, so no doubt voiceover man has given you all the details of that. But why are we here? Well, I'm on my way back down to Exeter today, but I'm actually going to go a rather convoluted route via Liverpool. It was a chance to get a ride on a Transpennine Class 185 set that's coming through here. We'll pick that up from Leeds and go across the Pennines through to Liverpool Lime Street. No, I've very recently done the run between Huddersfield and Manchester, but I was aware the weather was really bad on that one, so maybe we'll get some better shots as we go through the countryside there. But nevertheless, there's lots to see that particular journey I didn't show you. So yeah, let's do Leeds to Liverpool and see how it goes. I had a little walk down to platform 17, where the northern train for Lincoln Central departs, and there's also a lovely little view of Granary Wharf on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, with the Dalek standing proudly behind. Our train today will be a pair of 3-car Class 185 diesel multiple units. These date from 2005 and 6 and were built in Germany by Siemens on their Desiro platform. Right, these front-facing airline seats will do just fine, and they look pretty good, don't they? Our train today will leave Leeds and then call at Huddersfield, and after passing through the Pennines, it will then call at Staley Bridge, Manchester Victoria, Lee Green, and finally into Liverpool Lime Street. Our journey today will be 120 kilometres or 74.5 miles, and it's scheduled to take us 1 hour and 31 minutes, which gives you an average speed of 79 kilometres per hour or 49 miles per hour. Well, this is a good start to the trip. We've actually left Leeds on time.
Welcome to this Transpennine Express service.
And at Leeds Junction, the Hallam line goes south, but we'll go on towards Whitehall Junction to pick up the line to Manchester and past the site of the new station at the White Rose Shopping Centre. And soon we're zooming through a lot of stations that I'd recently had to pause at on my all-by-twos challenge just a few days earlier. Right, let's look at what we've got on the 185. There's 3-pin and USB charging, and the legroom is really good for a standard class product. And the wood effect pull-down table is smart and quite ample for my needs. The seats themselves are pretty good for a modern offering, and they certainly knock the spots off the dreadful Fainsa Sophia seats on the Hitachi trains, and also those ironing board seats found on many new regional trains.
We'll shortly be arriving at Huddersfield.
Well, I've been through Huddersfield quite a lot this autumn on the channel. It's beginning to feel like a second home, but I must still return to ride that quirky Penistone line that leaves from here. And beyond Huddersfield we climb the beautiful valley of the River Colne, all the way up to the entrance of the Stanage Tunnel. The weather is much drier than the last time I passed this way, and the Colne deviation over the railway certainly has a lot less water in it this time. And then it's through Stanage we go. Beyond Saddleworth School there's a great view of the canal and the valley of Diggle Brook, and as we cross the viaducts over the River Tame there's more views to be had. And then it's down the Tame Valley we go, past Greenfield and on to Mosley. It was the construction of a bridge over the Tame in 1707 that changed the name of this place from just Staley to Staley Bridge. Staley Bridge was one of the centres of textile manufacturing, as the first water-powered cotton mill was built here in 1776, with steam power being introduced as early as 1793. Manchester Victoria is the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway's major Manchester station, and much of it dates from the 1909 rebuild. And if you're interested, check out one of my other videos where we have a closer look. And I think these buildings alongside Platform 3 make up the remains of the Manchester and Leeds railway station, which dates from 1844. But the western approaches to the station feature much newer architecture, as there is a huge swathe of new high-rise buildings along here, which face the River Irwell. And this route gives us a great view of the Ordsall Cord, which came into use only in 2017, linking Manchester's stations at Victoria, Oxford Road and Piccadilly. And then we're off across the countryside, tracking the 193-year-old route of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway. Newton-le-Willows is home to the old Vulcan foundry, which is the birthplace of many mighty Class 37s. Beyond Earlstown we cross Stevenson's Grade 1 listed Sankey Viaduct, which is described as being one of the earliest major railway viaducts anywhere in the world. This really is living history. Our stop at Lee Green is our final stop before Liverpool, and already the station is all yellow, so we're well into Merseyrail territory. Therefore, before we get to Liverpool, let's have a closer look around this Class 185. Well, as you'd expect in standard, it's 2+2 seating with a healthy mix of table and airline seats, and it looks pretty good in TPE pale blue. And at this end there's a small first class section with a somewhat defunct servery because there's no extra goodies for first class here. Beyond that, the pale grey leather look seating is in a 2+1 format, which does look pretty swanky. Yes, if the price was right, I'd definitely consider upgrading to first class on a 185. Just beyond first is an accessible area with some flip-down seats. My TPE savvy daughter used to always head for this area when the train was rammed, as people often didn't realise there was this little oasis of standard class beyond the first class. Anyway, there's the loo, but let's head back because we'll soon be in Liverpool. Once past the freight yards and the station at Edge Hill, the train is soon into the approaches to Liverpool Lime Street. And whilst there's some tunnelling, much of this section is just a deep cut through the rock.
Anything suspicious, please speak to a member of staff.
And our 185s get us into Lime Street 1 minute early at 11:30. And on such a lovely day, the sun coming through the roof of the train shed makes Lime Street look a wonderful destination. No wonder so many people think Lime Street is a great station. And so that's it. 1.5 hours from Leeds to Liverpool, and the 185 was smooth and comfortable all the way. So what might this trip cost? Well, an advanced single bought only a day or so before travel can cost around £12.85, including a 1/3 railcard discount, but I didn't need to buy a ticket on this particular journey as I still had a day's travel remaining on my North West Ranger ticket. I hope you've enjoyed this run through the north of England, tracking along one of the world's oldest railway routes. And if you have, then please give it a like, and if you haven't already, do subscribe to this channel for more journeys, as I release a video such as this every Friday, and sometimes bonus videos on a Monday too. But in the meantime, from out here in the sunshine of Lime Street in Liverpool, I bid you goodbye and thank you so much for watching.